My own daughter just called me a deadbeat father at my housewarming party. You abandoned us, Dad. This mansion proves how selfish you are. Emma's shriek echoes through my living room. 50 guests turn to stare. Dr. Patricia Anderson nearly drops her wine glass. Someone's already filming this train wreck. Emma stands there in her designer dress, the one I paid for, pointing at me like I'm public enemy number one. Her unemployed boyfriend smirks behind her, enjoying the show. I'm standing there, no anger, no hurt, just calm. My eyes lock onto that worn leather folder sitting on my mahogany desk. Emma, medical school, written across the front in my own handwriting. 3 years of receipts, bank statements, sacrifices she's completely forgotten about. This little performance is about to backfire spectacularly. Stay with me, because what happens next will leave you absolutely speechless. Look at this place. Emma gestures wildly at my Tudor-style home, her voice rising another octave. 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage, while I'm eating ramen noodles and can't even afford my rent. The guests shift uncomfortably. My neighbor Tom Wilson, no relation, sets down his beer and takes a step back. His wife Janet whispers something in his ear. This isn't exactly the housewarming entertainment they expected. Emma, please. Dr. Anderson tries to intervene, but Emma cuts her off. No! Someone needs to say this. Emma spins around, addressing the crowd like she's giving a courtroom speech. Do you know what kind of father Richard Johnson really is? He bought this mansion 6 months after my mother died. 6 months! A few people gasp. I can see the judgment forming in their eyes. The timeline sounds damning when she puts it like that. Emma's boyfriend, Tyler something, I never bothered learning his last name, nods along like a bobblehead. Tell them, babe. Tell them the truth. The truth? Emma laughs bitterly. The truth is he abandoned us right when we needed him most. Mom died of cancer, and instead of grieving properly, he throws himself into house shopping. Real nice, Dad. I feel my jaw tighten, but I don't move. Not yet. You want to know what's really sick? Emma continues, pacing now like a caged animal. He kept all of Mom's life insurance money. Every penny. While I'm drowning in student debt, working 3 part-time jobs just to survive medical school, he's out here living like a king. More whispers. Someone's phone is definitely recording now. I can see the red light from here. This is going to be all over Facebook by midnight. Tyler crosses his arms, trying to look intimidating in his wrinkled polo shirt. Emma's been crying herself to sleep, man. You should be ashamed. Dr. Anderson steps forward, her face flushed with anger. That's enough. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about, Emma snaps. Patricia, you were Mom's friend, not his. You saw how he acted at the funeral. Cold, distant, like he couldn't wait to get it over with. The folder on my desk seems to be calling to me. 3 years of documentation, but not yet. Let her dig this hole deeper. Emma turns back to the crowd, her voice dripping with theatrical pain. My own father looked me in the eye 2 weeks ago and told me he couldn't help with my medical school loans. Said he had other priorities. Well, apparently his other priority was granite countertops and a wine cellar. She kicks at my Persian rug, the one Sarah and I picked out together 15 years ago, back when Emma was still calling me Daddy and asking for bedtime stories. You know what the worst part is? Emma's voice cracks, and for a moment she almost looks vulnerable. Mom used to defend him, even when he worked late every single night, even when he missed my graduation. She'd say that, Emma, your father loves you, he's just different. Tyler puts his arm around her shoulders. You deserve better, babe. I do deserve better. Emma's vulnerability vanishes, replaced by pure venom. I deserve a father who actually gives a damn about his daughter's future instead of showing off his success to a bunch of strangers. She gestures at the assembled guests again. Look at you people, standing there with your fancy wine, admiring his fancy house. Do you know what I'm living in right now? A studio apartment with black mold in the bathroom and a radiator that hasn't worked since 2019. Mrs. Patterson from down the street actually takes a step toward the door. This is getting uncomfortable, even for people who love neighborhood drama. Emma, I say quietly, and for the first time since her outburst began, the room falls completely silent. Are you done? She whips around to face me, her eyes blazing. Am I done? Am I done? No, Dad, I'm just getting started. Because someone needs to tell these people who you really are underneath all this fake generosity. Tyler nods vigorously. She's been holding this in for months, man. Months? Emma laughs harshly. Try years. Years of pretending everything was fine while you checked out of our family. Mom was dying and you were what? Working overtime? Building your precious company? Planning your next real estate purchase? Dr. Anderson's hands are shaking now. She knows something Emma doesn't. I can see it in her eyes. Emma takes a deep breath, preparing for her grand finale. You want to know what Mom said to me the week before she died? She said, Emma, don't let your father's coldness make you cold too. Well, congratulations, Dad. Mission accomplished. The silence that follows is deafening. Even Tyler looks uncomfortable now, like maybe Emma went too far with that last line. I glance at the folder again. All that documentation, all those receipts, all those late nights at the office, not building my company, but working extra shifts to pay for something Emma has conveniently forgotten about. Are you finished? I ask again, my voice still eerily calm. Emma crosses her arms, chin raised in defiance. Why? You going to kick me out of your precious mansion now? Really show everyone what kind of man you are? I take my first step toward the mahogany desk. No, Emma, I say, reaching for that worn leather folder. I'm going to show everyone exactly what kind of father I've been. Emma's eyes narrow as she watches me pick up the folder. Oh, what's this? More paperwork to prove how successful you are? Gonna show everyone your bank statements now? Tyler snickers. Dude's probably got his tax returns in there too. Classic narcissist move. I don't respond. I just hold the folder, feeling its weight. 3 years of my life documented in black and white. Emma pulls out her iPhone, the iPhone 12 Pro. I bought her last Christmas. You know what? I'm done with this charade. She holds up the phone, swiping to her Facebook app. Everyone needs to see what kind of man Richard Johnson really is. Emma, don't, Dr. Anderson starts, but Emma's already typing. Oh no, Patricia. The world deserves to know. Emma's fingers fly across the screen. Let's see. My father just proved what I've always known. Money matters more to him than family. Standing in his $2.8 million house while his daughter can barely afford groceries. Some people never change. She hits post and looks up at me with a satisfied smirk. There. Now all 847 of my friends know exactly who you are. The guests exchange uncomfortable glances. Mrs. Patterson is definitely edging toward the door now. Tyler grins like he just won something. You should add the part about the life insurance money. People should know he kept it all. Good idea, babe. Emma starts typing again. Actually, let me call Jessica too. She's been asking about you ever since Mom's funeral. She dials a number and puts it on speaker. After 3 rings, a voice answers. Emma? What's up? Jess, you're not going to believe this. I'm at my dad's housewarming party right now. Wait, he finally bought that place? The Tudor one he was obsessing over? Emma glances around the room triumphantly. Oh, he bought it all right. $2.8 million. Granite countertops, hardwood floors, the works. Meanwhile, I'm over here eating dollar store pasta and wearing the same 3 outfits to work. Through the speaker, Jessica's voice sounds shocked. That's... wow. I mean, I knew he was doing well, but nothing, Jess. This is who he's always been. Remember how he missed my medical school acceptance dinner because of some urgent work meeting? I remember you being upset about that. Emma paces in front of my fireplace, phone held high like she's conducting a symphony of grievances. Upset? I was devastated. The biggest moment of my life, and he couldn't be bothered to show up. Tyler jumps in. Tell her about the car payments, Em. Oh, yeah! Emma's voice gets louder. Jess, get this! He makes me pay for my own car insurance and maintenance on a car that's 7 years old. Meanwhile, he's driving around in a brand new BMW X5. I glance at Dr. Anderson. She's staring at Emma with something between pity and disgust. Jessica's voice crackles through the speaker. Emma, are you sure you want to be doing this on speaker? With people around? Why not? Let everyone hear the truth. My father has been emotionally absent my entire life, and now he's financially selfish too. Emma stops pacing and stares directly at me. You know what he told me last month when I asked for help with rent? Emma, you're an adult now. Time to stand on your own 2 feet. Harsh, Jessica murmurs. Right? This from the man who spent $50,000 renovating his kitchen last year. $50,000. That's more than I make in a whole year at the clinic. Tyler nods along enthusiastically. She works nights, weekends, everything, just to survive. Emma holds the phone closer to her mouth. And you know what the worst part is, Jess? Mom always defended him, even when he worked 70-hour weeks, even when he forgot my birthday 3 years in a row. She'd say, "Your father shows love differently, Emma." Maybe she had a point, Jessica suggests tentatively. Are you kidding me? Emma's voice cracks with emotion. Look around. This house is how he shows love? To himself? Because I sure don't see any love for his daughter here. The folder in my hands feels heavier with each word. Inside are receipts that would end this conversation in seconds. But I let her continue. Emma's voice drops to a theatrical whisper. Jess, I think he's been planning this for years. The expensive house, the emotional distance, everything. I think he wanted Mom and me out of his life. And now that Mom's gone... Emma, that's a terrible thing to say. Is it, though? Is it really? Emma looks around the room at the increasingly uncomfortable guests. He moved into this place 6 months after the funeral. 6 months, Jess. Who does that? Through the phone, Jessica sighs. Look, Em, maybe you should talk to him privately about this. No! Emma's composure finally cracks completely. I'm tired of private conversations. I'm tired of making excuses for him. Everyone needs to know what Richard Johnson is really like behind closed doors. She ends the call and throws her hands up in exasperation. There! Now Jessica knows too. And tomorrow I'll call my cousins and my coworkers and anyone else who still thinks you're some kind of saint. Tyler puts his arm around her again. You're so brave, babe. Emma leans into him, her voice becoming small and wounded. I just wanted a father who cared, you know. Instead, I got a stranger who happens to share my DNA. The room is dead silent now, except for the soft hum of my central air conditioning, another luxury Emma apparently resents. I look down at the folder in my hands, at the documentation that tells a very different story than the one she's been performing for the past 10 minutes. Emma, I say quietly, I think it's time we talked about medical school. Emma's face goes pale. What? What about medical school? Tyler frowns. What's medical school got to do with anything? I set the folder down on my coffee table, the mahogany one that matches the desk, and look directly at my daughter. Everything, Emma. It has everything to do with everything. Dr. Anderson steps closer, her expression shifting from concern to something like anticipation. She knows where this is going. Dad, I don't understand. The University of Minnesota Medical School, I say, my voice steady and calm. Class of 2024. 4 years of tuition, books, lab fees, living expenses. Do you remember filling out those financial aid forms, Emma? Emma's confidence wavers for the first time tonight. Yeah, of course I remember. But what does that have to do with your selfishness? Tyler looks confused. Babe, you got financial aid. You told me your scholarships covered most of it. The silence that follows is deafening. Emma's mouth opens, then closes, like a fish gasping for air. Scholarships? I repeat, almost gently. Emma, would you like to tell Tyler about your scholarships, or should I? Dad, don't... Because I have every document right here. I tap the folder. Every tuition bill, every payment confirmation, every bank transfer receipt. Mrs. Patterson, who was halfway to the door, stops and turns around. This just got interesting. Emma's voice becomes shrill. You're trying to manipulate the situation. This isn't about money. It's about you being an absent father. Is it, though? I opened the folder slowly, deliberately. Because 30 seconds ago you were complaining about your student debt. The debt you claim I ignored. Tyler looks between us, clearly lost. Wait, Em, I thought you said your dad never helped with school. He didn't? Emma's voice cracks. Not emotionally. Not when it mattered. But financially? I pull out the first document, a crisp bank statement from Midwest Federal Credit Union. Let's talk about finances, since you brought them up. Dr. Anderson moves closer to get a better view. Several other guests do the same. This has officially become the most interesting housewarming party in suburban Minneapolis history. Emma sees everyone gathering around and panics. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're making this about money again. Some things can't be bought, Dad. You're absolutely right, I agree. Some things can't be bought. But medical school tuition? That definitely can be. And was. I hold up the bank statement. August 15th, 2020. Wire transfer to University of Minnesota. $41,267. Emma's face goes white. Dad, stop. January 12th, 2021. Another wire transfer. $43,892. Tyler's jaw drops. Dude, those are huge numbers. August 20th, 2021. $45,115. I look up at Emma. Should I continue? Because I have 8 semesters worth of these. Emma's hands are shaking now. You're taking this out of context. What context, Emma? The context where you just told 50 people I abandoned you financially? The context where you posted on Facebook that money matters more to me than family? That's not what I meant. Or maybe the context where you told Jessica I make you pay for your own car insurance on your 7-year-old car? I reach into the folder again. Because I have the insurance payment records too. Guess whose checking account those payments come from? Dr. Anderson shakes her head sadly. Emma, honey, what have you done? Emma whips around to face her. Patricia, you don't understand. I understand perfectly, Dr. Anderson says quietly. I understand that your father has been paying your medical school bills for 4 years while you told everyone he abandoned you. The room is so quiet, I can hear my neighbor's dog barking 3 houses down. Tyler stares at Emma like he's seen her for the first time. Babe, you told me you were drowning in student debt. I am. I mean, it's complicated. 41,000, 43,000, 45,000. I recite the numbers like a prayer. Per semester, Emma, not per year, per semester. Mrs. Patterson gasps audibly. That's over $300,000. $320,418, I correct, to be exact. Emma's composure finally shatters completely. Mom would be ashamed of you for doing this, for humiliating me like this. The moment those words leave her mouth, I feel something cold settle in my chest. Something final. Your mother, I say, my voice dropping to barely above a whisper, would be ashamed of a lot of things tonight, Emma. But not of me. I close the folder and look around the room at the shocked faces of my guests. I think, I say, standing up slowly, it's time everyone learned the whole truth about what I sacrificed for Emma's medical education. I walk to my mahogany desk and pull open the bottom drawer. Inside is a manila envelope I've been avoiding for months. Sarah's medical expenses, final, written in my wife's careful handwriting. What's that? Emma asks, but her voice has lost all its earlier venom. She sounds almost afraid. This, Emma, is where your medical school funding actually came from. I return to the coffee table and set the envelope down next to the folder. Would you like to guess? Or should I just show everyone? Tyler shifts uncomfortably. Maybe we should go, Em. This is getting pretty heavy. No, I look directly at him. You wanted the truth, Tyler. You nodded along when Emma called me selfish. You smirked when she said I abandoned her. So let's see the whole truth. Dr. Anderson's eyes are filling with tears. She knows what's in that envelope. I open it carefully, like I'm handling something sacred. Because I am. Inside are receipts, sale confirmations, and appraisal documents that represent everything Sarah held dear. August 2020, I begin, my voice steady despite the pain. Emma's first semester bill arrives. $41,267. Our savings account had $12,000 in it. The room is completely silent now. Even Emma has stopped protesting. So I went to Harrison Jewelry on Hennepin Avenue. I hold up a crisp receipt. Sarah's engagement ring. The one my father gave me to propose with in 1987. The one that belonged to his mother before that. Emma's face crumbles. Dad, no. Appraised value, $15,000. Sale price, $8,500. I set the receipt on the table where everyone can see it. Not enough for 1 semester. Tyler stares at the receipt like it might bite him. You sold your wedding ring? Sarah's wedding ring came next. Another receipt joins the first. The matching set we bought for our 10th anniversary. The ones she never took off, even during chemotherapy when her fingers swelled up. Dr. Anderson makes a small sound, half sob, half gasp. Sale price, $4,200. I look around the room. Still not enough for one semester of medical school. Emma is crying now, silent tears streaming down her face. Daddy, please stop. Sarah's grandmother's necklace, the one that came over from Ireland in 1923. Another receipt. The one she wore to Emma's high school graduation. The one she was saving to give Emma on her wedding day. Stop, Emma whispers. Sale price, $7,800. I line up the receipts like evidence in a trial. Her pearl earrings from our honeymoon in Hawaii, $2,300. Her tennis bracelet from our 20th anniversary, $3,600. The math is adding up in everyone's heads. I can see it in their faces. But that still wasn't enough, was it, Emma? Because medical school doesn't just cost money for one semester. I reach deeper into the envelope and pull out a thick stack of receipts, held together with a rubber band. Sarah's entire jewelry collection, 37 years of marriage, every anniversary gift, every birthday present, every just because surprise I ever gave her. Tyler's face has gone gray. How much? $45,238. I set the stack down with a soft thud. Enough to cover that first semester, with a little left over for books. Emma is sobbing openly now. I didn't know. I didn't know you sold Mom's jewelry. Of course you didn't know. My voice remains eerily calm. Because when you called to thank me for paying your tuition, do you remember what you said? Emma shakes her head, tears streaming. I reach into my jacket pocket, my actual jacket pocket this time, and pull out my phone. I recorded it, Emma, because it was the first time you'd called me in 3 months. I find the voice memo and hit play. Emma's voice fills the room, bright and happy and completely different from the person standing in front of me now. Dad, oh my God, thank you so much. I can't believe you paid my whole first semester. I know it was probably hard to come up with that much money all at once, but this means everything to me. I'm going to be a doctor, Dad. I'm actually going to be a doctor. The silence that follows is devastating. That was August 28th, 2020, I say quietly, 3 days after I sold your mother's wedding ring. Emma wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, leaving dark streaks of mascara. Dad, I didn't realize how you got the money, but that doesn't change the fact that you were emotionally absent. Emotionally absent? I interrupt, and for the first time tonight, there's an edge to my voice. Let's talk about being absent, Emma. I pull out my phone again and scroll through my call log. September 15th, 2020. I called you to see how your first week of classes went. Straight to voicemail, September 22nd. Voicemail, September 29th. Voicemail. Tyler looks at Emma with growing confusion. Babe, you always answer your phone. I was busy with school. October 6th, October 13th, October 20th. I keep scrolling. 47 phone calls between September and December 2020. Guess how many you answered? Emma's voice is barely a whisper. I was stressed. 3, Emma. You answered 3 out of 47 calls from your father. I look around the room. But I kept paying your tuition bills, didn't I? Dr. Anderson steps forward. Richard, maybe we should... No, Patricia. She wanted the truth told publicly, so let's tell it. I reach back into the manila envelope. January 2021. Second semester bill arrives. Another $43,000. I pull out a different set of receipts. These ones hurt even more. Sarah's china cabinet. The antique one her mother left her. Sold to Midwest estate sales for $2,400. The receipt trembles slightly in my hand. The dining room set we bought for our first apartment. $1,800. Emma covers her face with her hands. Please, Dad. The piano, Emma. Your mother's baby grand piano. The one she played every Sunday morning while you were growing up. The one she taught you Moonlight Sonata on when you were 12. Tyler's eyes widen. You sold a piano? Steinway & Sons, 1987. Appraised at $35,000. Sold for $18,500. I set the receipt down carefully. Sarah cried for 3 hours when I told her. The room is so quiet I can hear the ice maker cycling in my kitchen. Emma looks up, her face streaked with tears. Why didn't you tell me? Tell you what? That paying for your dream was destroying everything your mother cherished? That I was selling our memories piece by piece to fund your future? My voice hardens. Would that have made you call me back? That's not fair. Fair? I laugh, but there's no humor in it. You want to talk about fair, Emma? Let's talk about the phone call I got on February 14th, 2021. I scroll through my phone again and find another voice memo. Valentine's Day. Do you remember calling me, Emma? She shakes her head, but I can see recognition dawning in her eyes. I hit play. Emma's voice fills the room again, but this time it's different, cold, demanding. Dad, my second semester payment is due tomorrow, and I don't see the transfer in my account yet. I need you to handle this today because I can't be worried about money right now. I have anatomy finals next week, and I can't afford any distractions. Just take care of it, okay? The recording ends. Emma stares at the phone like it's a weapon pointed at her. Take care of it, I repeat. That's what you said to me on Valentine's Day, 3 weeks after I sold your mother's piano. Tyler takes a step away from Emma. Jesus, Em, I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? I ask. Because that same day I was at the oncologist with your mother, finding out her cancer had spread to her lymph nodes. Dr. Anderson gasps. Richard, you never told me. I didn't tell anyone? Because Emma needed to focus on her anatomy finals. My voice drips with bitter sarcasm. Couldn't afford any distractions after all. Emma is shaking now. Mom was getting worse? Why didn't you call me? I did call you. February 15th, 16th, 17th. Straight to voicemail, Emma, because you were studying. The silence stretches on forever. Mrs. Patterson is openly staring now, no longer pretending to head for the door. But I kept paying your bills, I continue. March semester, summer courses, every single payment, on time while your mother got sicker and sicker. I reach for one final receipt from the envelope. And when the fourth semester bill came due in August 2021, and we'd sold everything else, Emma sees what's in my hand and starts shaking her head. No, please don't say it. I sold my car, Emma. The 1969 Mustang my father restored with me when I was 16. Emma's legs give out. She sinks onto my leather couch, the one piece of furniture I couldn't bring myself to sell, and stares at me in horror. The Mustang? She whispers. Grandpa's Mustang? Forest green 302 V8 engine, 4-speed manual transmission. I hold up the title transfer document. Sold to classic car collectors of St. Paul for $28,500. Tyler runs his hands through his hair. Dude, that was your father's car? My father spent 3 summers teaching me how to rebuild that engine. We painted it together in his garage when I was 17. It was supposed to be yours someday, Emma. I look at her crumpled form on the couch. But your 4th semester tuition was more important. Dr. Anderson covers her mouth with both hands. Oh, Richard, but that still wasn't enough money, was it? I continue, my voice getting quieter and more dangerous. Because medical school keeps going. 5th semester, 6th semester, 7th, 8th. I reach into the envelope one more time and pull out a stack of medical documents. August 2021. Your mother's oncologist, Dr. Stephen Martinez, recommended immediate aggressive treatment. Emma looks up through her tears. What kind of treatment? Experimental immunotherapy. Not covered by insurance. Cost $63,000 for a 6-month protocol. The room goes completely silent. Even Tyler stops fidgeting. $63,000, I repeat. The same amount as Emma's fall semester tuition plus room and board. Dr. Anderson's voice is barely audible. Richard, you didn't. I pull out a letter from Dr. Martinez's office dated August 15th, 2021. Quote, we strongly recommend beginning treatment immediately, as delays in this protocol can significantly impact patient outcomes. Please confirm your decision by August 20th so we can schedule Mrs. Johnson's first infusion. Emma is hyperventilating now. You chose the treatment, right? Tell me you chose Mom's treatment. I reach deeper into the stack and pull out a bank statement. August 18th, 2021. Wire transfer to University of Minnesota. $45,115. Emma Johnson's 5th semester tuition. No, Emma's voice breaks completely. August 19th, 2021. Letter to Dr. Martinez's office. I unfold a carbon copy of my own handwriting. Quote, Due to financial constraints, we will need to postpone the immunotherapy treatment until January 2022, pending insurance appeals and fundraising efforts. Tyler looks like he might throw up. You postponed your wife's cancer treatment? For 4 months, I confirm. 4 months while I worked overtime at 3 different accounting firms. 80-hour weeks, Emma. 80 hours a week to make up the money for both your tuition and your mother's treatment. Emma is sobbing so hard she can barely speak. Did she get the treatment eventually? I pull out a hospital bracelet. Sarah's name is printed in black ink, along with a date, January 15th, 2022. She started treatment on January 15th, exactly 4 months late. My voice finally cracks. Dr. Martinez said the delay reduced her chances of remission by 30%. Dr. Anderson sinks into a chair. Sarah never told me. She made me promise not to tell anyone. She said Emma needed to focus on becoming a doctor, that stress would hurt her grades. I look at Emma. Even dying, your mother was protecting you from consequences. Emma can barely get the words out. Did the treatment work? I reach for the final document in the stack, Sarah's death certificate, dated March 3rd, 2022. She lived long enough to see your 6th semester grades, I say quietly. You got a 3.8 GPA that spring. She was so proud. The silence that follows is unbearable. Emma is curled up on the couch, rocking back and forth like a child. Tyler stands frozen, staring at nothing. Mrs. Patterson starts crying. Someone else mutters, Jesus Christ, under their breath. But that's not the end of the story, is it, Emma? I continue, my voice growing stronger. Because after your mother died, after her funeral, after I spent 3 months in grief counseling just to function, I reach for my phone one more time. April 15th, 2022. 6 weeks after we buried your mother, do you remember what you texted me? Emma shakes her head frantically. I don't remember. I find the text message thread and hold up my phone so everyone can see the screen. Quote, Dad, my 7th semester bill's due next week and I know you're still dealing with mom stuff, but I really can't afford any delays. Can you handle the payment by Friday? Thanks. The collective gasp from the guests sounds like air being sucked out of the room. Mom stuff, I repeat. That's what you called your mother's death. Mom stuff. Emma tries to speak, but no words come out. And do you know what I did, Emma? I paid it. $47,362 on time. While I was planning your mother's memorial service, I set my phone down and look around the room at the shocked faces. So when you stand in my living room and call me selfish, when you post on Facebook that money matters more to me than family, when you tell your friends I'm an absent father, I pause, letting the weight of everything settle. Just remember that I chose your future over my wife's life. The silence stretches on for what feels like an eternity. Emma sits crumpled on my couch, her designer dress wrinkled, her makeup streaked down her face like war paint. Tyler stands beside her, looking like he wants to disappear into the hardwood floors. Finally, Emma lifts her head. Her eyes are red and swollen, but there's something else there now. Something desperate. You're manipulating the situation, she says, her voice hoarse from crying. This is exactly what narcissists do. They twist everything to make themselves look like the victim. A few guests exchange glances. Is she really going to double down after everything? Tyler nods weakly. Yeah, babe, you're right. This is emotional manipulation. Dr. Anderson stares at them in disbelief. Are you serious right now? Emma wipes her nose with the back of her hand and tries to compose herself. Patricia, you don't understand. This is classic gaslighting. He's using Mom's death to make me feel guilty for asking for basic parental support. Basic parental support? Mrs. Patterson speaks up for the first time tonight. Honey, he paid over $300,000 for your education. That's what parents are supposed to do. Emma's voice rises again, finding its earlier indignation. It's called being a father. You don't get a medal for doing the bare minimum. The audacity of that statement hits the room like a physical slap. Several people take actual steps backward. Tyler tries to back her up. Right. Like parents are supposed to sacrifice for their kids. That's the deal. The deal? I ask quietly. Emma seizes on Tyler's support and struggles to her feet. Yes, the deal. You chose to have a child, Dad. That means you chose the responsibility that comes with it. She's trying to rebuild her narrative, trying to reframe $300,000 and a delayed cancer treatment as the bare minimum. The sheer audacity is breathtaking. And the emotional support? Emma continues, her voice getting stronger. The phone calls I didn't answer? Maybe I didn't answer because every conversation with you felt like a business transaction. Emma, Dr. Anderson says firmly, stop. Just stop. No, I won't stop. Emma spins to face her mother's best friend. Patricia, you didn't live in our house. You didn't see how cold he was, how distant. Mom and I used to talk about it all the time. That stops me cold. What did you and your mother talk about? Emma senses weakness and presses forward. We talked about how you treated everything like a spreadsheet, how you never showed real emotion, how even when she was sick, you were more focused on insurance forms and medical bills than actually being present. Tyler nods along. That's what I'm talking about. Emotional neglect is real trauma, man. I feel something dangerous rising in my chest. Emotional neglect? Yes. Emma's getting her second win now. Just because you wrote some checks doesn't erase years of emotional unavailability. Money can't buy love, Dad. She looks around the room trying to win back the crowd. Everyone's so impressed by his receipts and bank statements, but where are the receipts for actual parenting? Where's the proof that he ever just cared? Tyler crosses his arms. She's got a point. Throwing money at problems isn't the same as solving them. Emma nods vigorously. Exactly. This whole performance tonight, this is just more emotional manipulation. He's trying to buy forgiveness with guilt instead of actually addressing his failures as a father. The room is watching this like a tennis match. Back and forth, but I can see doubt creeping into some faces. She's good at this. She's very good at this. You want proof that I cared? I ask. Real proof, not financial records. I reach into my jacket pocket, my actual jacket pocket, and pull out my phone one more time. But this time I scroll to a different folder, one labeled Emma, voice memos. October 2021, I say. 3 months before your mother died, you called me at 2:17 a.m. crying. Emma's face goes pale again. Dad, don't. You'd just failed your organic chemistry midterm. You were convinced you were going to flunk out of medical school. Do you remember what you said? That's private. You said, Dad, I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. I'm going to let everyone down, especially Mom. Do you remember what I told you? Emma shakes her head frantically. I find the voice memo 2 hours and 37 minutes long and hit play. My own voice fills the room, soft and patient, and completely different from the cold businessman Emma has been describing. Emma, sweetheart, listen to me. You are brilliant. You are capable. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be. One bad test doesn't define you. Do you know how proud your mother and I are just watching you try? The recording continues. My voice, gentle and encouraging, talking Emma through her panic attack at 2:17 in the morning while Sarah slept in our bedroom, bald from chemotherapy. I stayed on the phone with you for 2 hours and 37 minutes that night, I say quietly, while your mother needed her sleep for her treatment the next day. Emma is crying again, but this time it's different. This time it looks like shame. November 2021, you called again. 1:43 a.m., another panic attack about your anatomy practical. I scroll to another memo. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Tyler stares at Emma like he's never seen her before. December 2021, January 2022, February 2022. I hold up my phone showing dozens of voice memos. Every time you called crying, every time you needed support, every time you were convinced you couldn't handle medical school, I was there. The room is absolutely silent now. So when you ask for receipts of actual parenting, Emma, I gesture to my phone. Here they are. Emma stares at my phone like it contains evidence of her own execution, which in a way, it does. 237 voice memos, I continue, scrolling through the folder. Over 400 hours of late-night phone calls. Every crisis, every breakdown, every moment you needed your father, I was there. Tyler takes another step away from Emma. Babe, you never told me about any of this. I dot. Emma's voice is barely a whisper. I forgot. You forgot 400 hours of conversations? Dr. Anderson's voice is ice cold. You forgot your father staying up all night talking you through panic attacks while your mother was dying? Emma tries one last desperate gambit. He's he's probably made those up. You can fake audio files now. Really? I scroll to a specific memo dated February 28th, 2022, 3 days before Sarah died. Let's listen to this one. Emma lunges for my phone. No! Please, Dad, no, but I'm faster. I hit play, and Emma's voice fills the room, sobbing and desperate. Dad, I'm scared. What if I can't finish school? What if Mom dies and I never become the doctor she wanted me to be? I feel so selfish for even thinking about school right now, but I'm terrified I'm going to fail and all her sacrifice will be for nothing. My voice responds on the recording, exhausted but infinitely patient. Emma, your mother's sacrifice isn't contingent on your grades. She's proud of you for trying. And sweetheart, she's not going to be with us much longer. But that doesn't mean you stop living. It means you honor her by becoming the woman she raised you to be. The recording ends. Emma has collapsed back onto the couch, completely broken. Tyler stares at her with disgust. You called your dad selfish? After all of this? Tyler, please. No. Tyler shakes his head. This is sick, Em. This is really sick. He walks toward the front door without another word. Emma starts to follow him, but I speak up. Emma, sit down. We're not done. She freezes, then slowly returns to the couch. I walk back to my desk and open the top drawer. Inside is a legal document I had prepared 3 weeks ago after Emma's last demanding phone call about money. This is my last will and testament, I announced to the room, revised and notarized on October 5th, 2024. Emma's eyes go wide. Dad, what are you doing? I'm making sure my money goes to people who will actually appreciate the sacrifice behind it. I hold up the document. My entire estate, including this house, my investments, and my life insurance policy, will be donated to the American Cancer Society. Gasps echo through the room. Emma starts hyperventilating. Specifically to fund experimental immunotherapy research, the kind of treatment your mother couldn't get because I chose your tuition payments instead. No! Emma jumps up. Dad, you can't. That's not fair. Fair? I look at her calmly. You just spent an hour telling everyone how selfish and absent I've been. Why would you want anything from such a terrible father? Dr. Anderson steps forward and extends her hand. Richard, may I witness this decision? Patricia, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Sarah would want me to. She takes the document and reads it carefully. This states that the donation will be made in memory of Sarah Elizabeth Johnson, specifically for delayed treatment research. Emma is sobbing uncontrollably now. Please, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of it. I was angry and stupid and... You made your choice, Emma. 6 months ago, you texted me calling me your hero. Tonight, you called me a selfish narcissist in front of 50 people. Both versions can't be true. I look around the room at the shocked faces of my neighbors and friends. The truth is, I spent 3 years sacrificing everything, my wife's jewelry, our furniture, my father's car, and ultimately my wife's life, to pay for Emma's medical education. And in return, she's given me public humiliation and private demands for more money. Emma collapses to her knees. I'll pay you back. Every penny. I swear. With what money, Emma? You just told everyone you can't afford rent. The silence that follows is deafening. I walk to my front door and open it wide. I think it's time for you to leave, Emma. And don't come back. Emma doesn't move from where she's kneeling on my Persian rug. Dad, please. I know I messed up, but I'm still your daughter. Are you? I ask quietly. Because daughters don't usually destroy their fathers at housewarming parties. Dr. Anderson walks over and gently helps Emma to her feet. Come on, honey. It's time to go. Emma clings to Patricia's arm like a lifeline. Can you talk to him? Please, tell him I didn't mean it. Emma, I watched you call your father selfish while standing in the house he bought with your mother's wedding ring money. I heard you threaten him with social media exposure. I can't fix this for you. Mrs. Patterson approaches me cautiously. Richard, should we call someone? She seems unstable. I look at Emma one last time. She's 29 years old, about to be a doctor, and she's falling apart because her actions finally have consequences. Emma can call Tyler to pick her up, or she can take an Uber. She's an adult who makes her own choices. Emma wipes her face with her sleeve, leaving more mascara streaks. What about my things? I have stuff in your storage unit. I'll have it delivered to your apartment. What about Mom's ring? Her grandmother's necklace? Those were supposed to be mine someday. The audacity of that statement after everything we've just been through is stunning. Several guests actually gasp. Those were sold 3 years ago to pay your tuition, Emma. There's nothing left. Emma's face crumples again. I could have taken out loans. I could have figured something else out. Yes, I agree. You could have, but you didn't want to. You wanted someone else to handle it. You wanted me to take care of it, remember? Dr. Anderson guides Emma toward the door. Come on, sweetheart. Let's get you home. Emma stops at the threshold and turns back one last time. Will you ever forgive me? I consider the question seriously. 3 years of sacrifice, hundreds of hours of late-night phone calls, my wife's delayed treatment, her death, and tonight's public humiliation. Emma, forgiveness isn't the issue. Trust is the issue. And trust, once broken this completely, doesn't just grow back because you're sorry. She nods, tears streaming down her face, and finally leaves. The remaining guests stand around awkwardly for a few moments. Mrs. Patterson touches my arm gently. Richard, I had no idea what you went through, what you sacrificed. Most people don't. That's the thing about quiet sacrifice. It's quiet. One by one, my neighbors and friends approach me with words of support, apologies for witnessing such a painful family moment, and genuine respect for what I endured.